he comes with his philosophy. You know what I mean? I don't know. He finished 82 at Fort Valley. Let's kind of dive into that. 18 scholarships. He's beat some of the guys, but really nobody in the SIAC has 36 full scholarships. Real scholarships. I don't think so. I know when I coached in there at Lane, I had 7 scholarships.
You know my main issue with the SIAC, right? As a conference, very few of those schools play any schools outside HBCUs. That's my issue with the SIAC. And when they go to the playoffs, they have to play those schools.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a money thing.
And we know Chennis Berry played in a playoff game 2 years in a row. He got beat 40-0 one game, and then 30-something to 40-something to 20-something this last game.
Unfortunately, those schools, and I've been around them, they got 36 full scholarships. They almost has as much finance as our Division I schools, in the SWAC and the MEAC. Those Division II schools, they more like the MEAC and the SWAC than the SIAC and the CIAA. Valdosta State will come in the SWAC and damn near win it every year, or they'll place somewhere high. So those Division II schools that make the playoffs, Coach.
Hey, I think this might be our guy. Hold on. Coach Thomas. Hold on, let me see. Can I patch you in, Coach? Coach Thomas, are you there? Hey, Coach Thomas, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Coach Thomas, this is Rocky, man. I want to thank you. You're live on the air with Coach Cole and Mr. Campbell. So we have you live. I want to thank you, Coach, because I know you've been trying to connect with us for the last couple hours, and I appreciate you doing so. But Coach also let me know that your preference is to be in your office in a settled situation, and so we at your disposal now. If you want to reschedule this to next week, that's fine. If you want to get into it right now, we can do it as well, Coach. However you want to do
it. Yeah. Well, I respect for the product that you guys got, and being able to establish this relationship with you. I'm still traveling. I got my family with me, and
yeah, that's what we didn't want to happen.
I don't know when this service gonna go out, so we have to reschedule. That'll be awesome.
That'll
be big.
That'll work, Coach. I appreciate you working with us, Coach. And I know you're traveling with your family, and I know family time is precious for you guys this time of year. And so we're gonna go ahead and reschedule, Coach. Coach Cole gonna reach out to you and reschedule hopefully for next week. But if not, whenever you convene, because I know the recruiting trail is about to kick off as well. So you can reschedule anytime it's convenient for you, Coach. But we got a lot of Braves in here. We got a lot of Braves in here who's waiting on you, though, Coach. So I just want to let you know.
I apologize. I like you guys this platform and you, Coach Cole. I'm feeling about him and his journey. And I can't wait to really sit down and fellowship with you guys. So you guys, fans and the nation and the whole track and Black College Tech to get to know who I am. I'm literally pulling over now so I can get these words, out to you guys because it's important, for me to be able to establish this relationship through you all and so everybody can kind of get to know who I am. And so I'm excited about my opportunity. And anytime after the day, once I get home tomorrow, let's do it. I'm open for it. I have time and I'll make time. it was unforced and unforeseen circumstances with this travel that I couldn't do it today, but I'm willing to revisit whenever you guys are ready.
Yeah. Hey, well, thank you so much, Coach. Coach Cole, you got something to say to your guy before you let him go?
Hey, man, I know he's first class. All I've ever heard is great things about him. I love his swag. You know, he's my type of guy. He's very confident about what he is and what he's about, man. And I'm excited, and I want to get you on so folks can see who you are and what you're about, man. And you be careful on that road. And like I said, I'll be getting with you.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate it. To the viewers, I apologize once again, and I most definitely make it up to you. And I appreciate the platform and what you're doing for all the brown faces like myself who looked up to you guys going through and just being able to have this. I can't wait to bless you guys with my presence. So I appreciate it and came to fellowship with you guys.
All right. Appreciate you, Coach. Be careful now.
Yes, sir.
Take care. Take care of my little girl. Yeah, take care of my little girl.
Look, she the main one telling you to pull over. You need to call him. You need to talk to him. I said, well, baby, you ain't nobody go get her. She ain't worried about that. She from Memphis, so she can take care of herself, but she made sure. And she be on, to be able to fellowship, with you guys. And she wasn't scared of me pulling over to the side of the road to get these 3 words out of here.
Man, y'all be careful, Coach.
We'll do it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, be good. All right.
Hey, that's a class act right there, Coach. Guy traveling and willing to call in and let us know where he's going live. This wasn't a clickbait or anything like that. We dealing with these coaches and they got families and it's during the holiday season and traveling, and man, we trying to work with them to bring you the best content we possibly can. And to that point, if you're watching us on Off Script, please go down in the description, click the channel, click our channel, and go ahead and subscribe to our channel. That way you will get all the notifications of when we go live on HBCU Coaches Corner, man. And so, but let's get back into, and if we got any callers, we're going to go ahead and take some calls since we're here tonight. Maybe there's some people that would like to say something about the situation at FAMU, give AD Tiffany Sykes some advice as to what should happen moving forward. But I know, Bishop Campbell and the FAMU fan base deserve to be communicated with during this process. I do know that. Coach Cole, put your AD hat on for a second in this regard. If you were in a situation where you were the AD and you had a hire that people weren't familiar with, and you wanted to sell that person to the fan base, what could you do to sell that person to the fan base?
Well, definitely he's got to have something to sell. Besides that, he's a good guy and he washed the car and he feels his wife take up. It ain't about that. It's about what you can and will do and what will you bring to the table to take us to the next level. Me and Rocky, me and you always talk about what do our program need? What does Florida A&M need? You know what I mean? And or what other school need? And then that's the guy I got to go hire. Why do I want to tear down something that's already there? I'm pretty sure his offensive coordinator or his defensive coordinator can keep things going. I don't know why we didn't have I would at least interview them. Okay? I understand that there's a guy there that the players support. I don't know, Bishop, is he a coordinator?
No, Coach Cole's a defensive back coach.
Okay.
Coach Cozy, but Coach Cozy played at Florida State, knows the state well, has actually been a head coach at a lower level. So see, there you go. Been a head coach, was the type of guy, and this is from quote from the players, that it was a type of, he's a player's coach that the players respected. that they could talk to. So while he had not been a head coach on this level, he had been in the system. So to me, he's no different than a running backs coach.
Right. And here's another thing too, what you said earlier, and it just stayed on my heart and my mind. These guys are part of winning. Do they deserve to now have to go find another job and they just walk it off a championship team? In the pros, the only one with change his spot is the head coach. In the pros, ain't nobody else going nowhere. Now, they might let the head coach bring in one or two guys, but everything is staying the same. Opposed to in college, now this guy gonna come in, he gonna want to do his guys favor because he don't want to see his guys lose their jobs. So the guys that really have the right to stay is the championship guys. That now all of them got to move.
Hey, coach, they can go.
I don't think she thought that far, coach.
Coach, I'm gonna be honest with you, coach. They make $35,000 a year. They can go get that at Chick-fil-A, coach. I'm just gonna go and be honest. That ain't hard to replace. And I'm just being perfect.
But Rocky, it ain't about the money. It's about the human side of it. That this guy took this job at $35,000. He worked his ass off for me. He's coming with me. I'm saying the head coach at Fort Valley don't want to see his guys. I want to bring my guys. I want to feel comfortable. When I'm in a meeting and I mess up, I want to make sure that my guys believe in me, not me sitting at the table with a bunch of guys I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I know what you're saying. You're saying they can't have too much experience. They're not too big. They're not that great of a coach to jump from that. And you're right. Some of them guys are young guys, they're just learning the game.
Well, coach, let me say this. We said championship coach, right? Coaches, right?
Coaches.
But let's talk about consistent winning coaches. FAMU has gone 12-1, 9-2, 9-3, and 9-2. Okay? So think about that. So this is a level of consistency that all these coaches at the highest level. So it's not that we just won a championship out the clear blue. These guys have shown that they could do it over a course of years. And like I say, you got to understand something. We didn't go to Celebration Bowl because we were on self-imposed ban in our last year in the MEAC. We actually won the MEAC that year. Right. Should have went to Celebration Bowl then. We ran up against two JSU super teams that had the first-round quarterback. That's not Colorado.
Right.
That's the only team we lose to.
Right.
So you think about and not only did we do that, we did that with 3 different quarterbacks.
Right.
That's coaching, coach.
Right. No, without a doubt, winning the championship is coaching.
That's coaching. So if you have this level of coaching continuity, that's coach. It's very hard to do. Not losing coordinators to different teams and things like that. That people enjoy coaching and playing for Florida A&M University.
Right.
All you need to do is get a guy from that staff and say, you know what, let's just keep the truck on the road.
Right.
And keep building on it. Because we don't have to rebuild. All we're doing is reloading.
Right. Right. But that's the importance of the people in charge to understand that we don't need to go find a guy to make us win. We don't need to go find a guy to rebuild our program. We need a guy that's already there, that have drove this Ferrari and he wasn't driving a Z28. We don't need that guy. We need another Ferrari guy. You know what I mean? Or we need a guy that was on the Ferrari team that was in the passenger side. Unfortunately, you ain't gonna have that. And I don't know. Again, I don't know this guy. I don't know what he's gonna do or what he's planning to do. But according to you, by the time he get there, shit, everybody don't clean their desk out.
Well, and that's the thing. That's where the problem comes in at. And I'm going to say this again. This is the reason why you have to lay the groundwork if you're going to make these type of decisions. Because, Coach, let's go back. This is not, even though you made the timeline of Willie leaving and this potential the following week. But, Coach, she knew that Willie was going to leave several weeks ago. Okay? Right. So this is the thing. This is probably after the Celebration Bowl where she probably knew that Coach had other offers. So you have to put a plan together. We talked about this, putting a plan together to just have the contingency to be ready for this.
Can I say this? I don't think she realized what AD school she's AD of. I think she fell into the trap. They just gonna talk. But y'all walk. And I don't think that she understands the magnitude of what Florida A&M is about.
So this is my impression of it, because I believe that AD Sykes is a smart woman, right? But I also believe that had she wanted Willie back, there would have been a public acknowledgement at some point of making an effort shortly after him winning the celebration role to improve or appreciate his salary. Like you got to remember, Mr. Campbell, we just regular guys, right? Me, you, and Doc on our way back. We all knew, okay, next order of business is let's get Willie's salary right. And we talked about that for several miles on our way back to Atlanta. This didn't take anybody by surprise in the FAMU family. You know what I mean? You knew you were going to have to do right by Willie because of the level of success he was having. From what I understand, she never presented a proposal to him after winning the Celebration Bowl.
Well, that's the thing. Exactly. That requires you to go out and understand the value of what you have. And mind you, again, based off of reports, even though I know it to be true, and I'm going to say again, that our coach wanted a raise twice. And I'm going to say this again. If I go to you and I work for Coach Cole and I ask him for a raise and he doesn't give me a raise, that means he doesn't think I need it. So that shows me what my appreciation is. So if you don't think I deserve it, let me go look somewhere else. Somebody does.
But Mr. Campbell, how could she not think he deserves a raise when he reached the pinnacle of coaching in HBCU football? He is a national champion.
Can I butt in?
No, yes. No, Coach, no, not butt in, please.
Take it over, Coach.
Of course, you know, I've been around. I've been about 5 or 6 black schools. And I'm speaking from experience, over 40 years experience. And I've experienced that because you win a championship, sometimes it don't mean anything. They don't understand that I got a great product. And I'll go back, you ready hit your money thing, ching. We don't take HBC, we don't take football serious. We don't see the magnitude of what it does for our program. These people that's in control don't do that. Can I tell y'all, at Tennessee State, my brother's making $75,000 a year. I was making 40 as a coordinator. We broke every record. I broke every record, every record. Every record in the Ohio Valley Conference, offensive record.
Wow.
We win the championship in 98. They freeze his salary. We go win the championship. They freeze his salary. They gave him 75. That's all. 98. We go back and win the championship again. And because we had some minor violation that they made big, they told him they was going to freeze his salary again. 75,000. So Alabama State came in and offered him 136. They almost doubled his salary. And that's what ended up leaving. Now, have Tennessee State won since 98 and 99? Have they won a championship since 98, 99? Do you see the drought? It's over 23 years. 23 years, Mr. Bishop, of that same thing that you sitting there saying, man, I hope this guy can make us win. Because if he don't, it might not be another Willie Simmons coach for another 10 years or 20. That's why. And we don't get that. Because our football program don't raise enough money to pay for a whole athletic program like your Michigans, your Ohio States. That's why these administrators say that, oh, well, you don't make no money. It's bigger than money. Having a winning football program is bigger than money. A&T became A&T because what? They won national back-to-back championships as a football program. Their university blew up. Enrollment shot sky high. It wasn't because the president called a seminar over biological technical worms or the history found some bones down the street. It was from their football program. Now, they went to another conference. Nobody talks about A&T no more. Nobody talks about how great of a school it is and all that. Not like it was a couple of years ago when they were winning all the national titles. Now everybody's talking about Florida A&M. If you can't keep that going, you're gonna lose that. Stuff like that is bigger than money. My nephew, if y'all know my nephew, he played for Cleveland State. He got drafted in the first round of Miami Heat. And, he played and bounced around, and he came back. The president of them invited him back, and he came back with a donation. You know what they done? They tore his check up, Rocky. Tore it up. Said, Coach, sir, every time you mention that you went to Cleveland State, that's enough for us. Do you know what, when you say that, and it goes around the world, Cleveland State, I'm a representative of Cleveland State, that's enough money for us. You ain't got to ever give us a dime. And you're always welcome here. That's why, as you say, Bishop, we need to hire somebody big, man. That's why, Rocky, you say, man, y'all ain't serious about football. And y'all right, man. Yeah. I done been to several black schools. You know what I'm saying? And we just don't understand how important it is. Yeah. Or we just don't care.
You know, the way those people at FAMU weathered that weather.
They deserve better.
Stayed through 2 rain delays to be there when that trophy was hoisted on that Saturday evening. Those people are committed to football. And you can say this is one of those situations where the elements did not deter them from participating. They wasn't worried about their hair. They had a hair plan. They had an outfit for the weather. They were committed to being in that arena on that day to celebrate with that team along with Willie. And, and so I was thoroughly impressed with not only the performance of the team, but just how because I had to go back in retreat to safety.
How did the Prairie View fans? Because Prairie View fans are big supporters as well. And when you don't guard the right guy and you don't do the right things, you lose some of those people, man. You lose limbs. It's like a tree going through seasons. And when you don't do the right thing, you lose those leaves, man. And then when that guy get in there and he start winning and them leaves start growing and turning green, and then you turn around and then either get rid of him or you turn around and hard guy that don't supposed to be that guy. You know, those trees, man, are buck naked. Those alumni, they start going the other way with their money.
I was invited in the VIP section. There was no room. And I asked.
Now you're a pretty big guy, Rocky.
No. I'm talking about the length and depth of an entire football end zone at least, right? So my size wasn't a problem, but it wasn't that much space because it was completely sold out.
And you still look like you can come off the edge and stack a couple folks. You pretty. You know when the coach look at you, right, and say he pretty.
And I went over there, Coach, and it was nothing but love over there in the VIP section, and they were celebrating and as we tried to weather the delay, it was just a great atmosphere. The fans were enjoying it, And I even mentioned to Mr. Campbell, I said, I can't imagine FAMU not winning. Like, these people acted, they were behaving as like this is the way things are supposed to be, and like it was never any different, And to your point, you was like, nah, Rock, we had a run of some pretty bad times, and it just seemed like the people were, bought in, engaged, and this is what was expected at FAMU.
That's why you got to give Coach Simmons his flowers, because the challenge that he took to rebuild a proud program and basically keep it out of trouble. You didn't see the kids in the police blotter on the news. Won the right way, and then culminated it with an HBCU national championship. That's all you can ask. And that's why, again, when Coach made his decision to go to Duke, that's why people say, you know what, Coach, then you got to go to your next step. We appreciate that you rebuilt this program, because, again, you look at the college playoffs. There's only about 10 schools that even have a chance to even play in that. They can expand it to 12, but it's going to be the same 12 teams over and over again, and the ones at the bottom 4 will flip out. But the first 8 will always be the first 8, 9 out of 10 times. It's the same thing when you can get your school back to a level like Florida A&M. Because, again, like I've said, it's the state with the recruiting and the prestige that school has. It should be good. It should be good all the time. That's why you see the Florida Gators upset. Florida Gators should be good all the time. Florida State should be good all the time. Well, Alabama should be good all the time.
If you got the right guy.
If you got the right, see, that was my setup. You took my punchline, Rocky.
Oh, my bad.
If you got the right guy.
Let me say
because
this.
See, it's a you understood until you don't have the right guy.
Let me say this, and I keep saying, Rocky, and I keep saying, out of 100% of the coaches, only 25% of them are winners. That's just how it is. They got a winning formula. It's something about them. They got a winning attitude and a winning personality. That's why Alabama said, Nick Saban, you ain't got to ever go anywhere else. You're going to always be the highest paid coach. So when somebody get a raise, you get a raise. They understand that. I keep telling them, Bishop, the last 23 years, the head coaches that have won the SWAC championship or the celebration is on the shelf. They on the shelf. Why is that? These guys are winning coaches. Why is that? Why is that black coaches, HBCU coaches, win championships and then they get put on the shelf? Why is that, Coach?
Well, see, this goes back to the same. And I mean, you talked about this. Yeah, and Rocky, I'm going to tell you what we need to do when me, you, and Coach are back on. We need to go and pull the resume of all the SWAC ADs and look how long they've been in a job. And what you're going to find out, Coach Cole, and what you're going to find out, half of them will not even know the coaches that you're talking about.
Right.
I'm telling you.
Right.
I'm telling you.
Right.
These are people that have been put in these jobs that are not equipped to do the job because of experience, but because people, the transition and things like that, you got to really, and see, I don't have a problem with younger people, okay? I really don't, because I was a young person at one time. So I was that guy. Hey, give a young guy a chance. But I also know there comes a time, to your point, Coach, I can't expect a young guy to know the greatness of who and what you are and the coach you're talking about if they haven't been around it. How would they even know?
Yeah.
So they see somebody on Instagram.
Look at all the winning coaches in PWIs. They bounce from school to school to school to school. They're head coaches. And then here comes some young coordinator or something, and boom, he get a job. You know what I'm saying? That's just what they do. And then some people make bad point after bad coach after bad coach.
Well, what I think, see, this is where it goes back to, and again, I'll bring up PWIs, and you can bring up any blue blood school you want to. right? AD, Mr. AD, I know you like your salary, and I know you love the amenities that come with the prestige of having your office. But you only can keep that job if we have a successful football program. Like that's the deal. And if you do anything to hinder that, you're immediately gone. Immediately. They're not gonna tolerate AD interfering with the success of the football team. They're just not gonna do.
But look at these new hires. They went and got winning coaches from other schools. Texas A&M, where that guy come from? Oregon, didn't he?
No. See, so the guy, yeah. So let's look at the Texas A&M guy. The Texas A&M AD is actually from, okay. The AD at LSU is actually from Texas A&M, right? Was AD at Texas A&M. And so the reason why Jimbo got all that money is because when that job came open, that AD, I think, considered bringing Jimbo to LSU. And A&M didn't want him to leave. They paid him all that money. But ADs at PWIs are more or less fundraisers than football operations guys or operations guys. They're fundraisers. You know what I mean?
Let me say something funny. If Nick Saban leaves Alabama, right? You think they're gonna hire a coach from Kent State to be his replacement? No, they gonna hire who came in second place, who came in third place, who came in fourth place. That's who they gonna go hard. They ain't trying to start over.
They're gonna get a national championship coach because that's the profile that they set up. They went and got Saban after he was at, they just took him from Miami, because he had won at LSU, right? They're not playing around like that anymore. They're not taking any chances. And again, I think FAMU is in FAMU, Southern, Jackson State, Grambling. They all in the same category as far as I'm concerned with the HBCU brand. They should not be taking chances on coaches. But here's the situation with FAMU in this situation. By installing somebody that's already part of Willie's program, I don't think that's taking a chance.
No,
that's what.
It's not. Let me throw this at you. I thought Grambling did a great job of hiring Mickey Joseph. He's a championship coach. He's been on the 1A, AA level. That's a bam. How y'all feel about it? Hell, he way more. Hell, he'd have been more in a position to take over the Florida A&M job than this guy that they got. What y'all think?
Well, Coach, that's what I agree with. And also, this is the thing about with Grambling. And kind of what happened with Jackson when they hired Deion. In Grambling's mind, they had hit rock bottom. So they said, you know what? Let's get a young, energetic guy that's going to look good, that's going to work really hard to rebuild this program. And that's what you really need. So when you look at that, now if you bring a Mickey Joseph to FAMU, I love it because you know what? He's, again, young, energy, and he's going to be able to recruit, and he's going to say, hey, we're going to keep all this, and I'm going to go get more guys.
Right.
I'm going to get more guys. So that's the thing about it. So again, and you would have looked at his, he had been in Nebraska. He had been deemed to be an intern, at Nebraska.
He'd been at Alabama State. He was the head coach in Langston. He was the coach at Nicholls State. He was on a national championship PWI with LSU. He recruited. Do you know he recruited 5 wide receivers that are Pro Bowlers in the NFL? Right?
Yes.
Say that.
Yeah, I mean,
he recruited Chase.
I don't. Okay, Mickey is one of those guys. Had he been Caucasian or white, whatever you want to call him, he wouldn't be looking for a job.
Well, he would have had the Nebraska job.
Yeah.
Let's keep it simple. Trevor Alberts would have hired him.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like he did Scott Frost. What is the difference between Mickey Joseph and Scott Frost? Scott Frost. I mean, when you won a national championship, but far as for talent and who he was, they are the exact same player.
Yeah, and they both ran the option and they couldn't pass.
Thank you. The exact same player.
And Mickey Joseph got his head coaching experience, had to get it at an HBCU, whereas Scott Frost got his head coaching experience at a group of 5. That's kind of the difference. The track is different for a black coach.
Ain't no
Coach,
question.
I want to play this video right quick, guys, and I'll play it and we'll get out of here. So let me set this up right quick for you guys. If you guys didn't know, 3 black coaches won state championships in Texas this past year at the highest level of high school football. Anybody who knows about high school football, knows about Texas, knows how important Texas football is. And when you talk about coaches, you're talking about the likes of Art Briles. I believe, I'm not sure Hugh Freeze was a head coach, but he definitely was a position coach in Texas high school football. There's a number of guys that have been high school coaches in Texas that have ascended to the highest level of coaching at the Power 5 level. But we've noticed something that is being said about the black coaches that have won state championships. So I want to see what you guys think about this as I'm playing this story from a news station. Hopefully you guys can hear it good. Hold on, guys.
Tired of the misconception that often when African-American coaches achieve the ultimate success, it's due to the amazing talent they coach, not how amazingly well they coach the talent.
Gunny, turn it up.
Haters motivate. So come on with it. I'm just happy because at the end of the day, the facts are the facts.
The fact is, back in February, I sat down with Duncanville head coach Reggie Samples, DeSoto head coach Claude Mathis, and South Oak Cliff head coach Jason Todd, after all 3 had led their schools to the state title on the same weekend.
Coaches in our community, coaches that look like me. And what I can say is I think we've closed the gap.
On the very same day, all 3 men made a pact to keep on closing that gap on how black coaches should be seen as just as dedicated to their craft and just as deserving of what they get as their counterparts.
I just hope they get that stigma off of us because it's not true, man. We work as hard as anybody else.
Here's the proof. All 3 are back in the state title game Saturday at AT&T Stadium. DeSoto going for their second straight 6A Division II state title. Duncanville going for their second straight 6A Division I state title. And in the title game for the 5th time in 6 years. And South Oak Cliff, a win away from their 3rd straight 5A state championship. Something that has never been seen in the state of Texas. Not from this perspective.
Sometimes in life, you see a lot of things you didn't expect to see. You know, whoever thought back in the day that somebody would see an iPhone or the man go to the moon or a black president. So, you know, anything is possible as long as you put your mind to it.
Opening other minds is what these coaches will continue to do, with football as the vehicle and winning as the catalyst.
The only way that I know how to put into it for us is to keep doing what we're doing.
The main thing is, you know, don't look around, don't look up, don't look down. Look forward to what you can do with your efforts and your hard work.
All 3 coaches want it to be known that their greatest achievement is not winning football games. It's preparing young men each and every single day, each and every single year to go to college, be successful, and become positive contributors to society. And that is how they will always be judged, because that is how they will judge themselves. Good luck to all North Texas schools on championship week.
All right, guys. I just wonder, what did you think about that piece, saying that black coaches are largely judged different than white coaches at the high school level and possibly even at the college level?
It ain't no question. Coach Todd, matter of fact, is a Texas Southern University graduate and with South Oak Cliff. And to make his story even more incredible than those 2 guys, his is a inner city school. Duncanville has more kids. They have over 4,000 students. And DeSoto is another kind of one town city high school. So South Oak Cliff is even special because it's an inner city school. You know what I'm saying? And but there's incredibleness of all three of them. Here's my question. We've been watching football. They had 41 playoff games. Did any of them broadcast that? Did any of them say anything about that? Have they been on ESPN? I'm mad at Rocky because they ain't even been on our show yet.
See?
We don't promote us. Have they been on HBCU Go? Did Jay's what's his name? Jay and the girl?
Jay Walker and Tiffany Green.
Jay Walker. Did they say anything about them? Did they bring those three outstanding coaches to the Celebration Bowl? We don't promote ourselves, man. They ain't gonna do it. Why should they? I don't know.
Well, I will say this, Coach. The Celebration Bowl was on the same day as the Texas State Championship, so
okay.
I will say that, and
okay.
So. But my point in saying that is, even when black coaches have ultimate success, their credit is often downplayed by they did it with talent and it wasn't superior coaching. You know how hard it is to win, Coach, and you've also been a black coach all your life. What do you do to battle that, Coach, as you ascend or work in the profession? You know, where do these notions come from, Coach?
You do what you can to control. How you present yourself, how you look, your presentation. That's how you try to get around it, you know. And can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you just fine. You just froze, but go ahead, Coach. We can hear you just fine.
But that's how you can only control what you control. And I know, you know, when I used to recruit, you know, I wore but it's different now than then. Then when I was coming through, it was your presentation. You know what I'm saying? I had to make sure I was groomed. I had to make sure I spoke well. I had to make sure that I dressed well. I couldn't be like them. You know what I mean? When I walk in the room, knowing that I was representing the black school, I wasn't wearing a warm-up suit. I wasn't doing that. I wasn't carrying myself that way. You know what I'm saying? And I learned a whole bunch of things from them. I learned a lot of things from when I came through a black school and a black high school. You know what I mean? Where the locker rooms weren't clean, where the place was dirty. You know, my mother always told us, you know, when she raised 9 children and we lived in the side of a duplex, cleanliness don't cost nothing. Ironing your clothes don't cost nothing. You don't have to look like you don't have. So those are the things that I think that why we get a bad, we don't love and respect each other, I think. You know what I mean? We don't take each other serious enough. We don't promote each other like we should. So, man, you know, and we always step on each other. I know that's called what? Crab in the bucket. We always step on. We always want to look and find the negative on that person instead of the positives. That's my experience. And that's what I see. I went to a black elementary, middle school, high school, college. And I also worked at black colleges. And that's what I see. That's my experience.
You know, Mr. Campbell, as a businessman who's worked in corporate America, was your success also downplayed the same way that black coaches are?
Well, yeah. And I was thinking about the coaches, but I wanted, and I think coaches are going to understand this. You know what's also, it's about opportunity, because the pipeline at a high school coach that would be that successful, there are so many other PWIs that would give him offensive coordinator job or defensive back job or running back job. And that's how they start their place. So when you have a coach like these great coaches, their pipeline is HBCU, and then guess what? We can't even pay them what they're making as a high school coach. So why can't I? Why would I be able to leave? I can't leave to go to Texas Southern and be the OC when I'm making more money being the head coach here. So our greatness is already stunted by opportunity. That same white coach in Texas that we could go, that you talked about, can go to a mid-major Texas school, right? Make more money, and then now he starts to move up.
If those three guys was white guys, they'll be getting either one AA job, like Art Browse, like the guy that went to SMU, then he went to Arkansas, and then he got let go at Arkansas.
Chad Morris,
I don't know where he's at now. It should be this, but it ain't. God,
you got to understand, the guy who is at Texas Tech now was at Cedar Hill.
Yeah.
Was
the guy right here at Arizona State was at Chandler High School. They gave him a Pac-10 job from high school. Wow. And what is he gonna do? He gonna get his ass kicked, like he's doing. But he get the opportunity that we don't get.
And that is, to me, the bigger issue is because they're not going to get the same, because again, they have a plethora of more opportunities.
Right. No,
while ours are limited.
You hit head on. And the reason why we're fighting and swimming over those two jobs, and we're gonna always be negative on each other, is because there's only two jobs to get. You know what I'm saying? On some of these staffs. This is what I love about Deion Sanders. All the hype and all that stuff and the pictures and all. When you walk in Colorado's coaches meeting of Deion Sanders, the majority of the room is going to look like him. I guarantee you, if you walk in Penn State and I can't think of the coach's name. He's been there for a while.
James Franklin.
The room ain't going to look like him. If you walk in Maryland's coach Loxley, and the room ain't going to look like him. But the championship coaching staff that coached Tampa Bay, what was the white guy's name, the head coach? Hey, he wore
Bruce Arians.
That's why I like you on here.
Thank you, Coach.
His coaching staff didn't look like him. He had a black coordinator, a black offensive coordinator, a black special team coach, and other coaches all around.
I think all of the coaches were black.
Yes.
On that staff.
Yes.
And he had a woman on the staff.
And you're right. And when that day changes for the better, then I'll say we've made some moves. You know what I mean? We're making some moves. Until then, and like you said, we can't make mistakes like your girls, Miss Sykes, just did at Florida A&M. We can't afford to make the mistakes, Coach. We can't afford it. I'm hoping that this is not true, but you say y'all got to.
Coach, I'm gonna tell you. Coach, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna be a squatter because if this goes down, I'm gonna have to come back next week. Coach, I listen, Coach. I'm gonna have to be a squatter one more week at least. Because we got to get off our chest.
Hey, look, we're gonna have to get some of that Florida A&M donation money over here.
Man, listen,
all day long.
Listen, Coach. I will call them and I will tell them because we will have to do a telethon.
Hey, we just gonna have to do a Florida A&M show, baby.
Listen, Coach, just like I say, so I'm just telling you, I hate to say it. You're gonna be like, Coach Campbell's on here again? Now wait a minute.
No, Coach.
No.
Hey, see what Coach we talk about is we talk about knowledge that we know, firsthand information. We ain't guessing, and we ain't going. We got resources and people who call in to us, and You know, our channel is real. We ain't guessing about nothing.
Yeah, you know, Mr. Campbell, you're an integral part of HBCU sports at this point. You don't fashion yourself as a sports media guy, but with all that you know and all that you contribute to the media space, man, you're a sports media guy, and so you're welcome on this channel anytime. And with FAMU in turmoil, we definitely gotta we definitely gotta have it, because I trust your information over anybody else in the FAMU family, because again, you close to the money.
Yeah, that is true. But Coach, like I say, you know, I think what we try to bring, and what I always try to bring, is a little bit of history along with knowledge. Because I think what the disconnect is people are like, well, why are you saying this? Well, this is based off of history and experience. And if you understand that, now this goes back to our AD. If she had the history and experience, because you know what's funny, Coach? I do have to say this. On the booster call, right? Now you got, and the booster, those are the older alumni. And Coach Hubbard, Rudy Hubbard, which I know you know, Coach Hubbard,
yes,
basically was interviewed by the Tallahassee Democrat, which is a local newspaper. And Coach Hubbard said, you know what? Why would you not select one of the coaches from the staff? You know the first thing the boosters quoted? Coach Hubbard. Because of his experience.
Yeah.
He had done it.
It would have been a safe hire. It would have been a safe for her sake. For her sake.
Coach, I made the analogy earlier on Scotty's show, is that this is a case of the rich auntie putting raisins in grandma's potato salad recipe. You know what I mean? Like yeah. She just needed to keep the Mrs. Dash, the onions, the bell peppers, the whatever, just how grandma made it. That's all you got to do. Is just keep whatever the rest. And guess what? Here's the cool thing about this situation. Coach Reg knows the recipe. Coach Roll knows the recipe. Coach Cozy knows the recipe. Coach Ryan Smith knows the recipe. KJ Black knows the recipe. You don't have to go outside and get any other ingredients to put in this potato salad, because it's perfect the way it is. And I'd rather try somebody else using a recipe that has been proven to work than to somebody else bringing in a whole new potato salad to this deal. It just doesn't make sense, Coach.
Coach, you can drop the mic. That's drop the mic. Coach, hey, Bishop Campbell, that's dropping the mic, ain't it?
That's it.
We got all these guys in the bread line that have seen the blueprint. They've been a part of the blueprint. We don't need to make no more blueprint. Just drop the mic, man.
Hey, Mr. Campbell, you got anything to say before you go?
Well,
and then we'll let Coach take us.
Yeah, I just think that to all these HBCU fan bases, this once again shows why we have to be involved and not sitting away to the last minute. You've got to invest into your programs. You've got to support your programs. And you got to make sure when people make these hires, because a lot of times we just overlook these hires, the AD hire, the women's basketball coach hire, the baseball coach. These all affect the bottom line. These all affect the bottom line. We always see the football team, but that AD, like Coach said, is the one that makes that decision. So we should research that AD job harder than even the football coach's job because of what they bring. So I just want to say, you know, that's the thing that we're going to see how this plays out. It's going to be very interesting. And then again, if she does hire Coach Gibbs, and then, like I said, me and Coach will have a 5-hour show, rocking. You might need to start this thing at 5:30 in the afternoon, because we'll go until 12 midnight.
No, I'm going to go do my research on Coach Gibbs.
Yeah.
If I need to call Coach Broadway, I will.
Well, you might want to do it. Might want to do it, Coach, because that they say he's the guy.
Well, you already know somebody who knows him, and I suspect you'll be doing your research, if not this week, or definitely over the weekend, talking to your guy in NCCU. And so Coach Trey Oliver, and find out, you know, what the deal is. I'm looking forward to getting a report as to what the what Trey's assessment of Coach Gibbs is. I definitely am looking forward to that.
I got you. I got to give him a call. I got to find out who this guy is. That's what you text me.
Yeah. That's why I text you who that. And when you said, I don't know who this is, I was like, oh, that's not good. Because anybody that can coach in the last 20 years, Coach, you know him or heard of him.
Yes.
When I mentioned the name Chennis Berry, you knew who that was. When I said Terrence Graves, you knew who that was. Eric Dooley, Mickey Joe. Like, you knew. You could tell me where all these guys had been and what they had been doing. That's right. You know, it was almost like you were an encyclopedia of coaching.
Because they've been coordinators before. They've been under championship coaches. They've been in winning programs. You know, so I've seen their body of work.
Even when I wasn't familiar with Cedric Thomas, and you were able to roll out his resume. He was here. He coached with Fred McNair here. Then he got this job. Then he went here, and you were like, I'm like, Coach, did you know? And then you say, why you ask me about that? I say, he's the coach at Alcorn. Really? And I was like, yeah. You know, he said they already hired him. He said, you know, they didn't hire Fred. And I'm like, yeah, but they've hired this guy. And I sent him the link to where new head coach of Alcorn State. And he was like, yeah, they hired him. Yeah. And, you know, Fred's out in the cold right now, but hopefully that situation gets resolved for him and TSU.
Right now, that situation is ugly, man. It's ugly, Coach. It's ugly.
All right, Coach, you can take us out now.
Hey, man, look, great time always, you know, and one thing about life, man, is you got to fall in love with the little things, you know. And when you fall in love with all the little things, they secure the big things. So if you feel yourself at the end of the rope, tie a knot and hold on tight, Bishop, because ain't nobody bad like you.
How about that?
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today, it's Monday, January 15th, 2024. Number 1. It's difficult to believe that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated almost 56 years ago, longer than many have been alive. Thanks to his surviving family members and colleagues in the civil rights movement, there are still stories being told and memories being shared about this once-in-a-lifetime man who led a movement that changed the world forever. There are still those of us who don't know all that we could or should know about the life and work of the child born Michael King Jr., later renamed by his father as the world would come to know him, Martin Luther King Jr. Read some of the top 10 interesting facts about this man in today's newsletter. Number 2. Monday marks the national holiday honoring the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The Drum Major Institute, created by Dr. King in 1961, is now under the leadership of daughter-in-law Andrea Waters King, son Martin Luther King III, and their 15-year-old daughter, Yolanda Renee King. In partnership with the National Football League, the Drum Major Institute will announce the creation of the Realizing the Dream initiative. The goal is to encourage people, especially young people, to complete 100 million hours of public service over the next 5 years by January 15th, 2029. That will be the 100th anniversary of Dr. King's birth. Number 3, Black health matters because Black lives matter. Without our health, nothing else matters. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was aware of this when he said, of all the forms of inequality, injustice in health is the most shocking and inhumane. Our friends at Black Health Matters are focusing on how health inequalities keep our people from reaching their dreams. Read more about it in their column today. Number 4, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered a speech on the campus of Arizona State University, June 3, 1964. That may have been forgotten by many, but it still holds relevance in 2024. This year commemorates the 60th anniversary of Dr. King's religious witness for human dignity speech delivered to an audience of 8,000 listeners. This speech remained undiscovered until 2013 due to the loss of the original audio tape. The tape was found and sent to the Arizona State Archival Department for restoration and transcription, then resurfaced as a valuable part of both the civil rights movement and Arizona's history. Number 5, in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, in Ministry Monday, we're talking about being a servant of God. To serve or be a servant of God is not just something you casually do. As a Christian, it's a requirement, your duty, and a part of your calling. Being a servant is not an unachievable goal. God made it real easy for us to serve Him and to serve others. Read more about those ways in Ministry Monday in today's newsletter. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing to serve others? That question posed by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with our social justice contributor, Coy Malone, as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Black Health Matters. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.